Welcome one, welcome all to another edition of TGPW, the Guerrilla Position Wrestling, the most unprofessional professional wrestling and Fire Pro Wrestling. I, of course, am your host, the Swink Nick Swinky, and we are coming at you with another in the Summer Sizzler Series. This one, Summer Sizzler Series, Episode 5, Mutoh versus the World. And we are starting things off with a quarterfinal matchup in the TGPW Tag Team Title Tournament. It is the Thunder Buddies, Jushin Thunder Liger and THUNDERHORSE, taking on the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Later on in the show, we will have another quarterfinal matchup in the TGPW Tag Team Title Tournament. It is Fish Stick Steve Arrett and John Moxley taking on the team of the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. If you watched our last event, Hasta la Vista, baby, you know that on the other side of the brackets, the semifinals are now set as the Road Warriors would defeat the Circus of Slime and the Hardy Boys would knock off Future Hipsters. So, at our next event, Summer Sizzler Series Episode 6, it'll be the Hardy Boys versus the Road Warriors in the semifinals. By the end of this night, we'll know the other side of the bracket's semifinals. Either one of these two teams, Thunder Buddies or Motor City Machine Guns, will face the winners in later tonight's match between the Young Bucks and the Fish Mox in the other semifinal match in the TGPW Tag Team Title Tournament. How we got to this point? Well, the Motor City Machine Guns defeated the Briscoes in the first round of the tournament, while the Thunder Buddies knocked off number 1 seed, the Foundation, Jonathan Gresham and Jay Lethal, in the first match of the tournament. Thunder Buddies came in as the number 16 seed, knocking off the number 1 seeded team in the tournament, the biggest upset in terms of seeding in the tournament by far. Well, the Motor City Machine Guns came in at a disadvantage as well, having wrestled the Briscoes 7 times in the past, with the Briscoes getting the better of them 6 out of them, so 7 times. The 8th time was the charm as they finally knocked him off in a 2-on-2 matchup to advance in the tournament. There's a lot Molly Straw cradled by Chris Sabin, gets a 1 count only on the THUNDERHORSE, the protege of Jushin Thunder Liger. Of course, Liger and THUNDERHORSE, 2/3 of the group known as Thunder Buddies, alongside Thunder Rosa. There we see those palm strikes by Jushin Liger. Loves to utilize that palm strike, a move he has taught to the THUNDERHORSE. Also known as the Shote, has him up, tombstone pile driver on Alex Shelley into the figure 4 leg lock. There's our referee Bill Alfonso. Wondering why Bill Alfonso's our referee. Referee 2 count Lou Tufano still serving his suspension following his actions a few months ago, including screwing Sasha Banks and Ted DiBiase out of their first round match against Circus of Slime, but also costing Steve Arrett a match. It's Aaron Xavier, there's a cover and a 1 count only. Prior to that, he also cost Macho Ghost and Bailey a match against Ted DiBiase and Sasha Banks. So, no shortage of crooked referees, and we will be seeing a crooked referee later in the evening as the crooked Tortuga, Michael Brennan, will team with El Jefe, El Gran Blanco, Presentadora, and they will take on the team known as Stars and Shells, the Patriot and Steve the Eternal Weiner. That'll be later on in this evening's show. Also still to come, Drip faction, Marty, Drip, and Trish Stratus will take on the team of SuperBad, Penelope Ford, and Kip Sabian. Lots of tag team matches on this show. We've also got Mutohverse, Variant Mutoh and Bad Blood taking on Aero-Fire, Aeroboy, and Myron Reed, and Mutohverse team of Kiji Mutoh, the TGPW champion, and the Great Mutoh taking on the team of Go Big Show, Go Shiozaki, and Big Show. And in our only singles match of the night, we will have Bad Old JR, Jim Ross, by God, taking on the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Those are all the matches you're going to see on this evening's card. But right here, Chris Sabin, Jushin Liger going at it. Chris Sabin, the most reigns as X Division champion in Impact / TNA history. There's a cover off the lariat, gets a 2 count. Sabin and Shelley, tag team champs in both Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor. I'd love to add the TGPW tag team titles to that resume of theirs. There's a power bomb by Liger as he tags in the Thunderhorse. Last saw Thunderhorse in singles action. He was taking on Hook. Hook was victorious in that match. There's a Romero special by Thunderhorse. Sabin is there to save his partner. There's the CS Rush by the Motor City Machine Guns. Submission hold applied. Liger's there, though, to break it up. There's a super kick, but a drop toe hold from Shelley into the La Maestral cradle. The Thunderhorse able to grab the ropes, and he's all fired up now. The crowd is starting to get into this one. This is a heck of an opening matchup for tonight's program. Showtime to the back of the skull of Shelley. I believe it's Sabin and Liger are the legal men. There's a Liger bomb on Liger. Center of the ring. No! Liger just able to kick out as Shelley was there to cut off Thunderhorse from breaking up the pin. But Liger able to power out at 2.9 out of his own move. Thunderhorse there to save Liger again. Liger dragged back. Super kick by Sabin. Sabin off the ropes, levels him with a lariat. Goes for a cover. 2 and 3. No! Liger powers out at 2.9. Another last second kick out by Liger. Drop kick to the back of the head by Sabin. Liger with a back elbow, and now he tags in the Thunderhorse. Alex Shelley, the Thunderhorse, the legal participants in this match. Thunderhorse going up top. Drop kick to the back. Missile drop kick connects. I thought maybe he was looking for a double stomp, but instead went for a missile drop kick. Now we've got a strike exchange, and Shelley gets the better of it with a super kick. Hooks the leg. 2 and 3. No. 2-point kick. Two count kick out there by the Thunderhorse. Thunderhorse slams him out of the ring to the outside. Remember, 20 count on the floor in TGPW. You can advance in the tournament by count out, as well as pinfall, submission, and disqualification. Again, we've seen a count out finish before. We're in danger of one here. Thunderhorse avoids the count out, but can't avoid that. Automatic midnight by Shelley. Is that it? 2 and 3. No! 2.9 kick out by the Thunderhorse. As Alfonso says, he just got the shoulder up. Brain buster. He's caught, and the submission, and that's it. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin are your winners. Match number 2 Here at Mutoh versus the World, this is a grudge tag team matchup. It's the Circus' Slime, El Gran Blanco Presentadora, and Crooked Tortuga Michael Brennan versus the team known as Stars and Shells, the Patriot, and Steve the Turtle Weiner. Circus' Slime were eliminated from the TGPW Tag Team Title Tournament at Hasta La Vista, baby. We saw them lose to the Road Warriors there. With them out of the tournament, they will face two men who hold a grudge. The Patriot feels as if his likeness is being used for evil and will not tolerate it. His Blanco's mask, very similar to the Patriots. There's no denying that. So he thinks his likeness is being used for evil. Will not tolerate that, as we know the Patriot stands for good. Steve the Turtle Weiner is here to restore the good name of Turtles in pro wrestling, as Brennan has gone down the dark path. You know, formerly known as the Amazing Turtle, Mike Brennan. We've seen this transformation into the Crooked Tortuga, Michael Brennan. So Steve the Turtle Weiner here to restore the good name of Turtles in pro wrestling. They're here to clean up and fold the big tent on the Circus' Slime. But we've seen the Circus' Slime, you know, doesn't go away that easily. Just when you think they're down, they get back up again. The Patriot just got suplexed out of the ring by Brennan. Brennan, former referee in TGPW. Of course, cannot be relied upon to be a referee these days. Took out Lou Tufano. We saw his issues. He's been serving his suspension. Now we have Alfonso as the referee. We had a lot of trouble with referees here in TGPW so far. There's a drop toe hold and a double knee drop by Steve the Turtle Weiner. Tag is made to Gran Blanco. Gran Blanco with those shoulder blocks. Weiner tags in the Patriot. Patriot with a drop kick, as we see some teamwork there from Stars and Shells. But a low blow by Gran Blanco. He goes for a cover, and there's a rope break. Double team coming, no. El Gran Blanco fights out of it. El Jefe, though, gets slammed by Steve the Turtle Weiner with a double knee drop now. Here we go, the Crooked Tortuga versus the Turtle. And head first into the top turnbuckle goes Weiner, as Weiner tags out to the Patriot. There's a double power bomb. A spike power bomb, if you will. There's a hip toss into the figure four leg lock by the Patriot. A lot of people remember the Patriot from his days in World Championship Wrestling, part of the team called Stars and Stripes with Alexander Buff Bagwell. They were tag team champions. Had a feud with Pretty Wonderful, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, and Paul Roma. Also spent some time in the World Wrestling Federation back in 1997. Had a feud with Bret the Hitman Hart. Had a flag match. Also wrestled each other on the Ground Zero In Your House pay-per-view. But a lot of his time was spent in All Japan Pro Wrestling, in the land of the rising sun, where he would be, you know, moderately successful there in All Japan Pro Wrestling. He also wrestled for the Global Wrestling Federation, which would air on ESPN. Rivals with the Dark Patriot. Dark Patriot, also known as Doug Gilbert, the son, or the brother of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Weiner gets back in the ring to avoid the countout after he gets clobbered in the head with a steel chair by Gran Blanco. This guy's not afraid to bend and break the rules. We've seen that in the past. Steve the Turtle Weiner, meanwhile, was a member of the Chikara roster for a long time. And here we go with the Three Amigos by El Jefe. And that last one sending the Patriot out of the ring. Weiner runs right into Crooked Tortuga. Weiner from the top with a frog splash. What a move from Steve the Turtle Weiner, showing off his agility. Suplexes him. He gets caught with a back elbow. Frankensteiner in a 2 count. Unbelievable. No El Jefe could do that. Showing off his lucha skills. And there it is. He completes the Three Amigos yet again. Patriot out on his feet as a tag is made to Brennan. Double suplex. And now the fans booing. Clapping and booing at the same time. Very interesting. I think they're clapping for Stars and Shells to come back, booing the Circus of Slime. I think that's what that's all about. Because no one likes the Circus of Slime. I don't even know if their own mothers do. There's a drop kick, but a discus lariat by the Turtle. So we get this battle of these heroes on a half shell, or at least one hero on a half shell. The villain on a half shell, and it's just blatantly choking him right in front of the referee. He has till 5, but the Patriot there to break it up. Another power bomb, but gets caught with a roll up. Is that it? 2? No, not even a 2 count. Out at 1. I believe Patriot was there to save Steve the Turtle Weiner, but he gets double suplexed, caught in a roll up. Is that it? 2? No. Weiner out at 2. Double suplex by the Circus. Series of punches by Brennan staggers the Patriot. El Jefe gets thrown to the outside by Steve Weiner. El Jefe swinging wildly with that chair. Caught him with a bulldog, and now he's laughing at the Patriot. Well, the Patriot didn't like that. He just slams him out of the ring. And now the count is on again. There's a collision in the ring between the Patriot and Michael Brennan. And look at that, mocking the crowd. The disrespect showing by Gran Blanco to this crowd. Smashed him into the corner and then punched him right in the face. But the Patriot with a lariat and then just stomps on him. Here we go, the battle of these two masked men. The Patriot gets the better of that one and returns fire with a shot of his own to the face of Gran Blanco. Weiner taking it to Brennan here. Caught him with that slam again. Like a dominator. Flying crossbody off the ropes. But Gran Blanco there to break it up. Double clothesline. Sandwiches him. Made a turtle sandwich right there. Haha. There's the tag made. Again, Gran Blanco grabs another chair. How many chairs are under this ring? I swear, we've had at least 3 chairs already. Yeah, there's 3, no, 4. There's a fourth one on the outside of the ring. A lot of chairs under that ring. And there's another one. Now he's trying to get Steve the Turtle Weiner disqualified. He's trying to say that he used the chair on him. Gran Blanco trying to use every little trick in the book to try and get this win, trying to steal this win. But there's a spine buster by Steve the Turtle Weiner. And now he's trying to get the Patriot disqualified. Come on! Alfonso's not going to fall for that. I mean, that's right in front of him. He pulled the chair out and threw it at him. Trying to act like he hit him with the chair. Get out of here with that. Ridiculousness. And now mocking the fans again as he drops an elbow on the Patriot. This guy, I swear. And the fans booing them out of the building, rightfully so. There's a roll up, and no. Thankfully, the match did not end that way. Patriot may be looking for the Uncle Slam, but a counter there by Brennan. And credit where credit is due. Despite the fact that they like to cheat, they're fully capable of wrestling in a fair match, but would rather use shortcuts to gain an unfair advantage over their opponents. There's a suplex and a knee drop follow-up by Steve the Turtle Weiner. This is the debut for both Steve the Turtle Weiner and the Patriot here in TGPW, and they have brought the fight to the Circus of Slime here tonight, as this has been a back and forth, even matchup between these two teams. When the Circus of Slime are not trying to use, weapons, choking people, that sort of thing. Gotta wonder what the conditioning is like for these guys. They've been going for a long time here. And now Brennan just blatantly choking him right in plain view of referee Bill Alfonso as Alfonso begins his count. You hear the fans trying to get behind the Patriot, trying to will his way back to his feet and to victory here tonight against the Circus of Slime. He makes a tag. He's biting the man. Come on. Michael Brennan biting his forehead. Steve the Turtle Weiner has been busted open, but he hits a frog splash to the back of Brennan. Does not go for a cover, though. I don't know how wise that was. If I was Weiner there, I probably would have went for the win. Catches both of his arms and suplexes him overhead. Does the same to El Gran Blanco. Gran Blanco in the corner of Stars and Stripes. Sorry, Stars and Shells, or Shells and Stripes. Stars and Shells. I'll get it right. Oh, come on. That actually worked. Get out of here. What a cheap win for the Circus of Slime. Unbelievable. Match 3 here at Summer Sizzler Series Episode 5. Mutoh versus the World. It is Drip Faction. Marty, Drip, and Trish Stratus versus SuperBad. The team of SuperBad, Kip Sabian, and SuperBad Girl, Penelope Ford. So Trish Stratus and Death by Snoo Snoo, Jade Cargill, and Camille were victorious at Hasta La Vista Baby over Fierce Fire Flava, Penelope Ford, Kira Hogan, and Tasha Steeles. Marty Drip was in the corner of Death by Stratus faction, while Superbad Kip Sabian was in the corner of his wife Penelope and Fire and Flava. Kip, Ford, Hogan, and Steeles, we mentioned this last month, but we'll say it here again, have aligned with bad old JR Jim Ross. Ross has had a fierce rivalry with Marty Drip since Tag Team Madness in March. Marty and Trish would lose that match to JR Penelope. Feud continues as Kip will team with his wife Penelope against Marty and Trish here tonight. Can Drip Faction get their first win as a team, or will the super bad couple be victorious? That's what we're about to find out here. It's the two blondes, Trish Stratus and Penelope Ford, going at it. Penelope and Trish, you know, they've met, as I mentioned, in that match at Tag Team Madness where Penelope and JR were victorious. They met in a 6-woman tag at our last event, in which Trish and her cohorts, Jade Cargill and Camille, were victorious over Penelope and her cohorts, Tasha Steeles, Kira Hogan. Nice bulldog out of the wheelbarrow by Trish. And a leaping lariat takes down Penelope Ford as a tag is made to Marty. And a tag is made to Kip. The super bad couple with a double suplex on Trish, but Marty Drip slams Kip Sabian out of the ring to the floor. This is the debut for Kip Sabian in wrestling action. We've seen Kip again at ringside the last event, but this is the first match for SuperBad Kip Sabian in a TGPW ring. Marty Drip's win-loss record, not very good in TGPW, I'm not going to lie. And in his rivalry with Jim Ross, Ross has got the better of him more often than not. In fact, Ross has beat him both times they've wrestled each other in singles matches. Plus, they lost in the tag team contest way back in March. That's how long this has been going on between Marty and JR. But JR has seemingly moved on from Marty and has now sent Kip in his stead, as Ross has his eyes on the TGPW Championship. He's looking to climb the rankings. He's already 3-0, as there's a Luthez press with the punches from Trish, and more punches raining down on the forehead of Penelope Ford, as Trish is just taking it to Penelope here. There's a bulldog by Trish. Trish considered one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time, particularly in the world of WWE/WWF. Northern Lights suplex with a bridge by Trish, but Kip breaks up the pin. There's a chick kick by Trish. And Penelope with a kick of her own to Marty Drip Drip. Flooring him with that kick. Double backdrop suplex by the couple of Kip and Penelope. As I mentioned, Ross 3-0 in singles matchups. 2 wins over Marty Drip Drip. He beat Rich Swann at the last event. Now he's looking to go 4-0 as he takes on maybe his toughest challenge to date, Jacob Fatu. And we'll talk about that later on. Well, let's focus in here on this match. Northern Lights suplex by Trish onto Kip. Got a 1 count before Penelope is there to save her husband. Irish whip and caught him coming in with that bulldog again from Trish. Says bring it. Kip does with that Hurricane Rana. Goes to the top. It's a double stomp on Trish. Overhand chop by Trish as she tags in Marty Drip Drip. Marty suplexes. Double suplex by Marty and Trish on Kip. Double drop kick by Marty and Trish on Penelope. Some nice teamwork shown here by Marty and Trish. He drops an elbow from the top rope, follows it up with a pendulum backbreaker, shoots him off the ropes with an Irish whip, caught him with that kick, that single foot drop kick coming off the ropes. Did Marty Drip Drip. Listen, Marty Drip Drip has shown that he has a lot of athletic ability in the ring. He just hasn't put that together and wins. Nearly got pinned there off the Michinoku driver from Kip, but able to kick out at 2.9. Marty, in addition to having his own harem of women, if you will, that include Trish, Camille, and Jade, he is also a member of the Detroit Wrestling Connection, alongside the Big Dog, Kayvon Journey, the Black Man, Coco T-Ware, and the Macho Son, Jason Powell. And we will see the Detroit Wrestling Connection again. Let me tell you, you can be sure of that. The members of the Detroit Wrestling Connection will return. So we saw the Starship Pain out of the corner by Marty Drip Drip on Kip, but neither were the legal men, as Ford and Trish are the legal participants right now. Drop kick to the knee of Penelope as Trish tags back into Marty. Marty, something's got to be done about your kids. Not that Marty. Nice combination of elbows there by Marty Drip Drip. Again, like I said, the ability is there, but just not translating to the win-loss record. Nice DRS right there by Kip Sabian as he drops an elbow off the ropes. He comes off the ropes. Leaps over. Ducks under. But gets caught with a moonlight drive. Hooks the leg. Is that it? 2 and 3. He got him. Marty Drip Drip gets the win with the moonlight drive and hits the post. Alright, match 4 at Summer Sizzler Series Episode 5. Mutoh versus the World. It features the Mutohverse, as it is variant Mutoh from the 1990s New Japan Pro Wrestling, teaming up with another variant in the form of Bad Blood, the variant of Mutoh from WCW versus the World on PlayStation. From that universe. As you know, the story goes, Mutoh has plucked various versions of himself from the multiverse to help him keep that TGPW championship title. And these 4 were part of an 8-man tag at Hasta La Vista, baby, in which the Mutohverse was victorious. And out of that we get these two-on-two tag team matches featuring the Mutohverse versus Go Shiozaki and his contingent of friends, I guess you would say, his allies. As it is the TGPW Deathmatch Champion and #1 contender to the TGPW Championship held by Kiji Mutoh, Aeroboy, and his partner tonight, Hot Fire, Myron Reed. Again, as I mentioned, Mutoh's master plan to surround himself with variants of himself to keep the TGPW Championship, including this younger variant of himself who just got a 1 count from the 90s. Well, again, the version of himself from the universe of WCW versus the World, form of Bad Blood. Variant Mutoh, we've seen him in singles action. He lost to Go Shiozaki at Summer Sizzler Series Episode 4. Big Boy Summer. And Aeroboy, he is guaranteed a TGPW Championship match at some point, but the champion has put his younger self in Bad Blood in his way. And again, Myron Reed, he joined the fight at the conclusion of Big Boy Summer, as he had the Backs That Go show, and Aeroboy would also assist, as he would come in to even the odds at 4 apiece. As Aeroboy and Shiozaki eye that TGPW Championship. Myron Reed feels like he had the match against Shiozaki that earned Shiozaki the #1 contendership. He feels like he had that match won. So he feels as if he should get an opportunity at the championship as well. Well, Big Show is involved because he is Shiozaki's tag team partner. Well, we'll talk about that later on in our main event. Right here, it's Myron Reed, who just got tagged in, and Aeroboy, who is the Deathmatch Champion, in addition to being #1 contender to the TGPW Championship, as he defeated Kenny Omega to earn the #1 contender spot. It's a question of when he will get his championship match. Again, the Summer Sizzler Series is all building up towards the conclusion of the summer, the biggest show of the summer, the Super Summer Sizzler Spectacular. And it could be on that show that Aeroboy gets his championship match. But Go Shiozaki feels as if he was cheated out of the championship thanks to interference from Variant Mutoh, who's in this match. Red trunks on the court, on the apron. Not to be confused with Bad Blood, who's in the red pants with the red face paint. A lot of red in this match, actually, now that I think about it. The Mutohs, or Mutoh, or Mutai, are wearing red with black. Aeroboy is wearing red with black. I mean, Myron Reed's got some red with black, with a little bit of white mixed in with the pants. So, yeah, a lot of red and black in this match. Very popular color scheme here. There's a figure 4, but it's broken up by Hot Fire Myron Reed, the young goat of Injustice. In Zaguri by Aeroboy as he tags in the young goat, Myron Reed. Cradle pile driver by Mutoh as he gets thrown to the outside by Myron, who fouls him out. Everybody on the outside now as Alfonso starts his count. Gets the 9 before Mutoh and Reed are back in the ring. There's a Cobra twist, but Myron escapes. think I have the hiccups. Leaping lariat and a series of diving headbutts for Bad Blood. There's the space takedown Ogawa. And now he's just grinding his elbow into the head. Cloverleaf by Aeroboy. Oh, there's the mist to the face of Myron Reed. See that green mist all over the face. And the bandana around the neck of Myron Reed. But a double team move by Aeroboy and Myron Reed. Aero-Fire, if you will. And then a Boston Crab. Myron Reed, the MLW middleweight champion. Two-time MLW middleweight champion. Current reigning. Sit out, power bomb. Got a 2 count out of that. I think that was like a Tiger Driver. Missile drop kick off the top by Mutoh. And there's a backbreaker. Usually likes to follow that up with the rounding body press, but a dragon suplex instead. But Aeroboy there to break it up. Sorry, Myron Reed there to break it up for Aeroboy. Aeroboy just stealing his move right there with that dragon screw leg whip. German suplex sends him all the way out of the ring. That was a light tube. A light tube to Mutoh, showing why Aeroboy, showing why he's the deathmatch champion. Michinoku driver on the floor. Another light tube. But he drops the tube as Bad Blood and Myron Reed are going at it inside the ring. Myron Reed suplexes Variant Mutoh again out of the ring as it's Bad Blood and Myron Reed here. Myron gets the better of that exchange with a drop kick off the ropes, puts on the brakes though, as Bad Blood's back to his feet. He gets released suplexed again. Myron Reed sent into his own corner. Set up on the top rope now. What's Bad Blood thinking here? I don't know, but he got countered into a Hurricane Rana or a Frankensteiner, if you will, off the second rope, or the top, maybe, by Myron. Bad Blood completely misses the elbow drop. Aeroboy with a cover, 2, and nearly beat him on that mistake by Bad Blood. He completely whiffed on the elbow drop off the top. Backslide, but he's in the ropes. Too close to the ropes. There's a Tiger Driver. Sit out. 2, and Bad Blood showing his resilience. He kicks out a 2.9. Brass knuckles! He just hit him with brass knuckles. Where did he get those? Myron Reed, though, there to save Aeroboy from defeat. Great old pile driver on Reed. Diving headbutt, the Kokashi by Bad Blood. The tag is made to Variant Mutoh. This match is absolute mayhem here. We've seen all kinds of weapons involved. We've seen action inside the ring, outside the ring. You can tell there's a lot of hatred, a lot of vitriol here between these two teams. There's a standing Hurricane Rana into a pin, shoulders down, but Aeroboy there to save Myron Reed and the matchup for his team. Again, Bad Blood whips on the elbow. Standing shooting star press, and he got the 3 count. Myron Reed with the pin on Variant Mutoh as Aero-Fire gets the win. Here we are, match number 5 at TGPW presents Mutoh versus the World, part of the Summer Sizzler Series. In our only singles matchup of the evening. It is Bad Old JR Jim Ross, one-on-one with the MLW World Heavyweight Champion Jacob Fatu. The Samoan Werewolf was last seen in TGPW in the TGPW title tournament where he would lose in the quarterfinals to the eventual winner of the tournament and current TGPW champion, Keiji Mutoh. Ross, as I mentioned earlier in the show, has singles wins over Marty Drip Drip and Rich Swann. JR's 3-0 singles record will be on the line here tonight. There's a fork. Right off the bat, Ross with the shenanigans into the testicular claw. And again with the fork. I can't even get through this read before JR starts doing his thing, and oh no, now the referee's out. Bad time to try that tactic though. Trying to get him disqualified as Ross ran in to referee Bill Alfonso, and now he's biting his forehead, is Ross. They call him Bad Old JR for a reason. As Ross is just completely out of control here. Fatu gets a 1 count only. Splash by Ross to the back of Fatu. And again he's biting him. Risking disqualification is Ross here. But we've seen him be effective with these underhanded tactics. I mean, he's 3-0 in singles matches, for God's sake. Fatu with the splash, but he misses. The Superfly splash, but nobody home as Ross with the presence of mind to get out of the way. Guess he's been watching his Fatu tapes. There's a DDT from Fatu. Tapes, what year are we in? Overhand chop, and then an elbow right to the forehead into the single leg crab. Fatu relentless onslaught here on Ross. But Ross battles back. And now he's got the giant swing back on. He's swinging him around like a chandelier. Now he's got him. Oh, that's it. Just like that, Jim Ross makes short work of Jacob Fatu. Here we go with match number 6, the semi-main event of the evening. And it is the final quarterfinal matchup in the TGPW Tag Team Title Tournament. It's the team of Fish Stick Steve Aaron, and John Moxley. It's the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. Earlier tonight, we saw the Motor City Machine Guns advance to the semifinals with their win over the Thunder Buddies. And it will be the Motor City Machine Guns versus the winners of this match in the semifinals of the tournament. The other semifinal matchup we know, set in stone, will be the Road Warriors versus the Hardy Boys. Both of those semifinal matchups will take place at our next event, Super Summer Sizzler Series number 6. The final Super Summer Sizzler Series show before the finale of the summer, the Super Summer Sizzler Spectacular. And on the Super Summer Sizzler Spectacular will be the finals of the TGPW Tag Team Title Tournament, as we will crown the first ever TGPW Tag Team Champions. The Young Bucks got here by defeating the team of Join Them to Betray Them, the Big Dog K-Von Journey, and the Macho Son, Jason Powell. The Fish Mox got here by defeating the team of Coco Drip, the Black Man Coco T-Wear, and Marty Drip Drip. Now the team of Fish Stick Steve Aaron, and John Moxley came together months ago for the first time back at Tag Team Madness back in March, where they defeated the team of Ken Shamrock and Leo Rush. The win by Fish Mox, Steve Arndt and John Moxley there, got them both into TGPW tag team, or got them into the TGPW title tournament in April. It was there in the first round that John Moxley would defeat Warhorse, Steve Arndt would defeat Nyla Rose. They would both advance to the second round, where Arndt would defeat Jason Powell, while Moxley would lose to El Gran Blanco Presentadora in a controversial finish. On to the Elite Eight, where Steve Arndt would lose in the quarterfinals to Kenny Omega. Of course, Kenny Omega aligned with the Young Bucks, part of the Super Elite, alongside the Good Brothers of Doc Gallows, the Big LG, and the Machine Gun Carl Anderson. Of course, Steve Arndt has had his issues with the Alliance to end Steve, and it includes Nyla Rose, Nia Jax, Aaron Xavier, the aforementioned Ken Shamrock, Cypher, Shockmaster, of course, at Do You Like Fish Sticks, Steve Arndt would run the deathmatch gauntlet as he would defeat Shockmaster, Cypher, and Ken Shamrock in exploding barbed wire landmine death matches to eliminate them from the equation, finally getting a one-on-one with Aaron Xavier inside a steel cage at My Own Summer. It was on that show that Aaron Xavier would actually win, quote-unquote, by submission, but we know the 2-count Lou Tufano was paid off by Aaron Xavier to screw Arndt out of that match. Afterwards, it was there that Xavier revealed new members of the Alliance to end Steve in the form of CNC Destruction, CNC Destruction, as I mentioned, and Metalhead. Chris Miller, Cody James, CNC Destruction, Metalhead, and then also revealed that Eric Xavier was not the mastermind of TATAS, that it was in fact Windy City AC, Antoine Clemens. Now, despite the attack by CNC Destruction and Metalhead, Arndt would still compete in the title TGPW Tag Team title tournament, as he would win his first round match alongside Moxley against Coco Trip at Blood Red, White, and Blue, part of the Summer Sizzler Series. That was episode 3. That was back in July. They would win that match, but he was not 100% as he had his ribs taped. Afterwards, both Moxley and Arndt would be attacked once again by CNC Destruction and Metalhead. That would take Arndt out of TGPW for the rest of the month, as he did not appear at Big Boy Summer. And he did not appear at Hasta La Vista Baby. But here he is back after a month off to recuperate. He says that he's 100%, but who knows? After all those attacks at the hands of the Alliance to end Steve. But he's back here tonight competing in the tag team title tournament with a chance to go to the semifinals to face the Motor City Machine Guns. But they have to get past one of the greatest tag teams, I would say, of all time, in the Young Bucks. There's a cover, gets 2, and no, nearly a 3 count. That was the move that Matt Jackson likes to call the worst case scenario. I believe that is what that move is called. He might have another name for that move. I don't know what he calls that. It's got a name, though. That wheelbarrow into the kind of a flapjack or face buster. Yeah, that is what it's called. Worst case scenario. It's a victory roll flip forward into a modified wheelbarrow facebuster, as I've said. So yeah, I got it right. I mean, yeah. I know what I'm talking about here. Come on. John Moxley gets the pin as the Young Bucks are eliminated. And he levels Matt Jackson with the clothesline. Oh, man. Fishbox is moving on. Here we go with our final match, our seventh and final match, the main event of the evening. Here at Mutoh versus the World. Appropriate enough, it is Keiji Mutoh, the TGPW champion, leading the Mutohverse against the teaming with the Great Muta against the Go Big Show team of Go Shiozaki and Big Show. We've mentioned the war between the TGW Keiji Mutoh and his Mutohverse and the contingent led by Go Shiozaki. As Mutoh surrounds himself with variants of himself to protect his TGPW championship. We saw earlier in the evening that the Mutohverse team of Variant Mutoh and Bad Blood failed in their attempt to defeat Aero-Fire, the team of the TGW Deathmatch champion and number one contender to the TGW championship, Aeroboy and Hot Fire Myron Reed. They won that tag team matchup did Aero-Fire. Here, TGW champion Keiji Mutoh teams with his alter ego, the great Mutoh Go Shiozaki, who demands a rematch against the champion Mutoh. Teaming with his regular partner in the Big Show, Go Big Show, were victorious in their debut as a tag team at Tag Team Madness in March, defeating the Neo Ito Respect army of Maki Ito and Chris Brooks. They're looking to go 2-0 in 2-on-2 tag team matches. But they did come up on the short end of that 4-on-4 tag team match at Hasta La Vista, baby, in which Mutoh, Keiji Mutoh that is, pinned the Big Show, who's in the ring right now, after a rounding body press. But here they are in a tag team matchup as we have Big Show and Keiji Mutoh, and there is Mutoh chops down the massive 7-foot-tall, near 500-pound giant of the Big Show. The Big Show makes the tag to his partner, Go Shiozaki, who claims that he is Noah. He says, "I am Noah." Go Shiozaki. There's an STF applied by Mutoh, and Mutoh and Shiozaki have met in Pro Wrestling Noah, in which Mutoh defeated Go Shiozaki for that GHC Heavyweight Championship, the top championship in Pro Wrestling Noah. Mutoh would go on to lose that title, however, to Naomichi Marufuji, who is the current GHC Heavyweight Champion. So Shiozaki lost that title to Mutoh. As far as I know, never got a rematch, never winning that title back from Mutoh, as now Marufuji is the champ. But he wants a rematch against Mutoh, as they met in TGPW for Mutoh's TGPW Championship, in which Mutoh was victorious after some outside interference from variant Mutoh, the Keiji Mutoh from the 1990s in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So outside interference seemingly costing Shiozaki that match. That is why Shiozaki feels he needs and wants a fair rematch against Mutoh for the championship. But as I mentioned earlier, we've got the #1 contender in Aeroboy, who earned that opportunity by defeating Kenny Omega on that very same show in which Shiozaki got his title shot. The Shiozaki had to wrestle earlier in the evening as he won a 6-man spot for a shot match, which also included Myron Reed. That's how Myron Reed is added to this equation, as Myron Reed seemingly had a pinfall on Shiozaki to eliminate him from the match, but the referee was distracted, did not see the pinfall. So Reed believes that he had Shiozaki pinned, had him eliminated, but there was no count. So we'll never know for certain if Shiozaki would have been pinned or not. However, Reed believes that he should have won that match. Therefore, he vowed to keep an eye on Shiozaki. And after the interference, followed by the matchup between Shiozaki and variant Mutoh at Big Boy Summer, the rest of the Mutohverse, including the TGPW champion Keiji Mutoh, the Great Muta, and Bad Blood, all would interfere. Following the matchup, actually, the match was over, they would run in and attack Shiozaki. It was there that Myron Reed would show his allegiance to Shiozaki, coming to his aid alongside Big Show, the aforementioned Aeroboy. And so the battle lines were drawn there. They had a 4-on-4 match, as I mentioned earlier, at Hasta La Vista, baby, in which the Mutohverse actually got the win there. But so far tonight, it has been Shiozaki and friends winning as Aeroboy, the #1 contender, and Myron Reed defeating variant Mutoh and Bad Blood earlier. Go Big Show looking for the sweep here against the Mutohverse, trying to pick up a win here And a win over the champ here for Shiozaki would definitely go a long way towards earning him another rematch against the champion. As Mutoh wouldn't have much say in it when the TGPW booking committee is concerned if he were to lose this match to Shiozaki here tonight. He would have to give Shiozaki another match, you would think. But Aeroboy is still owed a match. So we'll see what the booking committee decides on what to do with the championship with the upcoming Super Summer Sizzler Spectacular. As no doubt the champion will have to defend his title on that show. There's a Shining Wizard by Mutoh on the Big Show, but Big Show back to his feet, showing no effects from that Shining Wizard, but a double drop kick by the Mutohverse. But Big Show fights them off and tags in Shiozaki. Great Mutoh in there now. Great Mutoh in the green and red face paint with black pants. Emerald green worn by Shiozaki, obviously to honor the late great Mitsuharu Misawa, founder of Pro Wrestling Noah. As Keiji Mutoh, the TGPW champion, is tagged in. He won that championship in the tournament final back in April. Rounding body press to the back of Shiozaki, but does not go for a cover. Picks him up though, drop kicks him in the knee. Into the STF. Beautiful transition from the drop kick to the knee into the STF. That is why they call him the Wrestling Genius. But Mutoh defeated Kenny Omega in the tournament final to win the championship. He did that all on his own, by the way. He did not have help. Rounding body press with the cover. 2 and no! Broken up at the last second. He could have pinned Shiozaki right there. Hooks the leg on that Fisherman Buster, does Shiozaki to Mutoh, but Mutoh back to his feet first. And they both collide. Both men down here as they both make tags. Spinning soul butt by Mutoh takes down Shiozaki, but Big Show with a rocker dropper. And just a boot right to the chest of the great Mutoh. Mutoh gets caught and slammed with that gorilla press by the Big Show, who's just showing off his strength and power advantage. Dominating here. He's calling for a choke slam. Instead, suplexes Mutoh. Mutoh catches him. Sorry, Mutoh catches him. Figure 4 leg lock, center of the ring. Is he going to get him? No. Shiozaki there to save his partner. Thought we might see a tap out there, but Shiozaki there to save Big Show and the match for his team. Big Show sends Mutoh, Keiji Mutoh, into the corner. And Shiozaki is tagged in. Chops and elbows here. Who's going to win the battle? Shiozaki does as he chops down the champion. Rolling elbow by Shiozaki. Irish whip. Caught him with the Frankensteiner. Cover 2 and Big Show there. Big Show there to break it up as he cuts off the pinfall attempt from the champion. Those stinging chops from Shiozaki. Stiff chops, rounding body press by Keiji Mutoh, but he's not the legal man, as it's the great Mutoh who's legal. Mutoh gets slammed. He takes a moonsault. Beautiful moonsault off the top by Shiozaki. Might have even hit that better than Mutoh. Fisherman's Buster dazes the great Mutoh as Big Show's tagged back in. Series of elbows. There's the Go Flasher. As Big Show again makes the symbol for the choke slam, but goes behind. Mutoh caught him with an elbow. Mutoh to the top. Thinks better of it though. Back to the mat. And they go down. Great Mutoh to his feet first. But gets caught with a rocker dropper from the Big Show. Big Show just raked in the eyes as a tag is made to the champion. Rounding body press, but nobody there. Lands on his feet though. Does the Great Mutoh. There's a rounding body press. That's how he beat Big Show last time. But goes into a cross arm breaker. Cross arm breaker of pride. Alfonso asking as Great Mutoh cuts off Shiozaki from breaking up the submission attempt. So he hit him with a series of kicks there. Into the figure four leg lock. Nowhere to go. And Big Show taps out. Shiozaki could not get there in time. Big Show forced to tap out as Mutoh again picks up a win over the Big Show. This tag team main event. So there you have it. Keiji Mutoh and the Great Mutoh defeat Go Big Show, Go Shiozaki and Big Show as Mutoh wins with the submission, the figure four leg lock on the Big Show in 30 minutes, 16 seconds. That is the official in-game time. A 91% match evaluation. So, yeah. Mutohverse win the main event of tonight's show, Mutoh versus the World. As the champion seemingly cannot be beat, whether it be in singles matches or tag team matches. And you thought maybe because earlier in the night, Aero-Fire, Aeroboy, and Myron Reed were victorious over Variant Mutoh and Bad Blood, that would carry over for Go Big Show in our main event. But in the end, once again, Keiji Mutoh is victorious. And once again, he gets the deciding victory over Big Show, as he pinned Big Show last month after a rounding body press. He makes him submit here tonight with the figure four leg lock. So it seems like Mutoh has targeted the Big Show as what he thinks is the weak link on this team. So he has yet to pin Shiozaki's shoulders to the mat. He did beat Shiozaki, as I mentioned, but that was not without the help of Variant Mutoh. That was way back. That was back in my own summer, back in June when that happened. And he actually won that match with the submission hold, the figure four leg lock. So he has not pinned him. He's made him submit. But again, that was only after he had the assistance of his, younger self from his New Japan days. So, in a fair one-on-one contest, let's just say, no outside interference, one-on-one, or in a tag team matchup, he has yet to pin Shiozaki's shoulders to the mat for a 3 count. But as I mentioned during the matchup, we'll see what happens with the championship as we've got Summer Sizzler Spectacular coming up. But we've got one more Summer Sizzler Series show to go, number 6. On that show, as I mentioned, we will have the semifinals of the TGPW Tag Team Title Tournament. It'll be the Hardy Boys versus the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. And as we saw earlier tonight, in the other semifinal matchup, it'll be the Motor City Machine Guns versus the team of Fish Mox, Fish Stick Steve Arrett, and John Moxley. Those are your semifinal matchups, part of Super Summer Sizzler Series 6. And then at the Super Summer Sizzler Spectacular, as I mentioned earlier as well, we will have the finals of the TGPW Tag Team Title Tournament. So one of those 4 teams, as I mentioned earlier, Motor City Machine Guns, Fishmox, Hardy Boys, or Road Warriors, one of those 4 teams will be your TGPW Tag Team Champions by the end of our Summer Sizzler Series Spectacular. Sorry, by the end of the Super Summer Sizzler Spectacular show, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. And again, as mentioned, our next show will be Summer Sizzler Series number 6. So 2 more shows in the month of August. We got that big one coming up in September. As I mentioned last month, the T3, that Trios Tournament 2021, to crown the TGPW Trios Champions. And we got something special cooked up for the next show as well. More details on that on the social medias. So that is going to do it for this show. Be sure to like, if you could please like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That would help out. Click the notification, the little bell icon, and you will get updated whenever a new episode of TGPW is uploaded to the YouTube channel. There's also a nice playlist of all the TGPW shows. If you missed any of them, you can watch that playlist and catch up. Get caught up before our next show. Get caught up before the end of the summer, because things are coming to a head here very soon in TGPW with a lot of these storylines, a lot of these matchups. Again, the champion, TGPW champion, Keiji Mutoh, will be defending his title on that show. We'll have the finals to determine who the tag team champions are on that show. And a whole lot more. You never know what's going to happen next in the exciting world of the Guerrilla Position Wrestling. The most unprofessional professional wrestling and Fire Pro Wrestling. Until next time, I am your host, The Swink. We'll see you later.